Hello and welcome to the Slapshot Syndicate podcast. Be sure to subscribe for more content, and whilst you're at it, go and follow our social media pages. They're on screen now. Now, on to the episode. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Slapshot Syndicate. What episode are we on now?
We are on episode 54.
54 episodes in. There's unfortunately no Aaron again tonight. I think we keep taking it in turns at the minute to not be available, but unfortunately he's under the weather again, so it'll just be me and Rossy tonight. But plenty to speak about. So first and foremost, what a weekend!
What a weekend! What a week!
What a week! Yeah. Starting from the midweek fixtures.
Oh, unreal. Up and down the league, been so we say it every week, don't we? But the beauty of our league is everyone can beat everybody, and yeah, I just think as it comes closer and closer, the table's changing every week. Yeah. Everyone's beating everybody. It's just, I can't wait to get into it. Yeah,
well, there's plenty to talk about, so with that said, we'll jump into Seahawks reaction. Okay, so we'll jump straight into it then. Few big games for Hull during the week and over the weekend. In fact, arguably probably some of the toughest run of fixtures we've had in a long time, with little break in between. So we start on the Wednesday night. We had a home fixture against the Leeds Knight, local derby, midweek hockey. Things we absolutely love to see, and it's fair to say the atmosphere was buzzing on it. Even just walking into the rink, just seeing the stands full, and the crowd was up for it on both sides. To be fair, Leeds seemed to bring a fair few supporters, and we managed to catch up with a couple of them. So it was everyone was rooting for the team, but there was a bit of friendly rivalry, I think. There.
Yeah, for sure. And to be fair, we spoke to a couple of Leeds fans, and there was I know a couple of them was quite hesitant to come over. Apparently, there's been horror stories about people coming to that sort of rink. But I think that's what makes our rink. Not the horror stories, obviously, but I think they'll find after this game, it was just a real good game of hockey, and everything that's going on off the ice, is really good for the Seahawks. I think the atmosphere is great. Yeah, nice to see both mascots getting involved, and it was just off the ice, brilliant. But I know this one going in a couple of weeks ago, we was almost threatened, being the game that we've got in hand is against Leeds though, that sort of thing. But with the recent form that we've had prior to this week, obviously we was going into this week on a bit of a winning streak. I think it was 5 games that we was on, weren't we? So we had 3 this week, obviously. But we was really confident, weren't we, actually? Obviously Leeds are a big team in the league, they are where they are, and they've won what they've won because of how good they are, obviously. But I don't know, there's just something about our team at the minute, and which just seems like everyone's...
Leeds have shown signs that they could be beaten over recent weeks, and to be honest, our form's just completely turned on its head, and I'd like to... I can with confidence say we are the team to beat at the moment by the looks of things. So I was confident coming into this one as well. So we'll get into it then. For those of you who don't know, the final result on the night was 3-2 to Hull Seahawks. Started off quite high energy, high pace, as you would expect in a local derby. Both teams sort of feeling each other out, and within a couple of minutes Hull went on the power play. Yeah,
they did indeed. So it was a bit of an upside down one. When this happened, we anticipated, just for the record as well, it was Sobs, wasn't it?
Yes.
So our beloved Owen Sobchak, who was all mentioning the last couple of weeks about obviously his departure, we was a bit threatening about what had happened there. But Sobs got a penalty against him, didn't he? Maybe a little bit soft. I think he had a few complaints about it, but went in. Because of the timing of the power play, we was all thinking, here we go, this is going to be it. A few taps, and didn't exactly go to plan, did it?
No, it did not. So we conceded short-handed on that power play from our friend Balin Pikozzi. So he managed to get a breakaway. We sort of had a bit of a fumble near the blue line, didn't we? And he was just as soon as that happened, he stole the puck, got away, and it was 1-on-1. And he put it in the back of the net. So that was the end of that. And then he went on to successfully kill that penalty.
They did, yeah.
So we've gone on the power play and we've conceded 1-0 down. Then a minute and a half, 2 minutes later, Leeds get a power play.
Yeah, they do. And again, it weren't the same story as... Unfortunately for us, it weren't the same story. So in the first 5 minutes, they really made good work of their special team. So obviously they got short-handed. I think, was it Peyton as well? Peyton and Bally sort of like spit on us, but we was all talking, weren't we, and saying like how good Leeds seem to be on the first foot. Like when they get the puck, the breakaway was like rapid, wasn't it? So that was a bit of a threat. I don't know whether it was a bit of a step back from the Seahawks after that to be like, oh, let's be sure here. But unfortunately we weren't on the power play. We ended up conceding, didn't we?
Yes. So Liam Payton, I think, did you just mention that? Assisted by Bissonnette and second assist by Sobchak. And I just wanted to note as well, like you just mentioned about like their first line at one point with Sobs, Biss and Kieran Brown. There was a real threat, but and to be honest with you, I think most teams have probably been threatening that line coming up against it and not really knowing what to do. Like obviously, we've had fourth line and we've been chucking that line out quite a bit to cause a bit of a nuisance. But against that line, you probably wouldn't have done that. However, Leeds went up 2-0 and that seemed to be like, oh, okay, we weren't completely down and out. Like we definitely had confidence. We were playing well. It was just the fact that okay, we've conceded 2 sort of unfortunate goals, one on the power play, one short-handed, but the feeling around the rink was that we can easily get back into this.
Yeah. I was going to say about this as well. The thing about it right now is, and we're all riding a real high at the moment if you're a Seahawks fan because of what's going on in terms of the form. But I felt after these 2 goals, even though that we had been 2-0 down, and probably early in the season you'd have thought, oh no, like what's going to happen here? But I just want to touch on what you just said there. After that 5 minutes, it never really was it? Like this is going to be a pepper in this. Well, like there was always that little bit of belief that we'd get back into it and things like that. And obviously we conceded 2 goals there, but that's not without the defence blocking shots and Heskey making some good saves in that, which could have been a hell of a lot earlier in terms of the goals being scored. So I think after that they sort of maybe just settled themselves down a little bit, and they never really looked like like they was going to get murdered. Do you know what I mean? Like,
definitely not. We seem to have good control over our side of the game, didn't we?
And there was a great reaction actually as well, because we didn't have to wait ages and ages before the next goal. Obviously, there was a 10-minute period there where it was back and forth. Yeah. Leeds and Hull both going for it, and fair play to both teams for not taking the foot off the gas there. I definitely don't think Leeds sort of just got the 2 goals and then parked the bus kind of thing. They was after it as well. Yeah. That first line especially that you just mentioned, and again Peyton, Bally and I think Vengis was playing on the line with those 2. Like them 3 played really well too. But yeah, like I said, there was a 10 minutes back and forwards, and then opened the score. We opened the scoring with our first line, didn't we? Who have been up and down in terms of points recently. They've been chipping in, but not as much as as was once needed last season, which I think is a nice thing about our team now. We get points all the way up and down our team now. So there's not that much reliance on the first line, but it was great to see them come out and get a goal, wasn't it?
Yeah. So Emil Svek opened the scoring for Hull Seahawks at 15 minutes into the first period, assisted by Bobby Chamberlain, second assist by Jordan Stallard. And that sort of felt like a bit of a pivotal moment for us, didn't it? Like, okay, we've got a goal, nerves have settled, we're starting to play our own hockey, and let's go and tap this to them really. And that sort of was the story of the first period, going into the second period 2-1 down. And so we come out, and defensively I would have to say we were very, very strong in this period. There was a lot of for those of you who watched a local derby like this, it was very end to end. It felt like netminder against netminder for a lot of the game, and I think this period was a good example of that. It seemed to be like it was just end to end hockey, hard hitting, fast paced, shots coming, but being saved. So like in another night, or you've got different netminders in goal, you're probably looking at a much higher score. But we managed to get a second goal at 31 minutes 48 seconds into the second period from Jack Musil. Who I've got to say I think's been very good value for the Seahawks. When Matty brought him in, I didn't really know too much about him. I don't think a lot of people did. in fairness.
Yeah, there's especially people who are like new to hockey like us. We've only been watching for a couple of years. Moose has had a couple of years out, hasn't he? But he did play for the Steelers and things like that, so probably more well known to like the older fans and things like that. But yeah, what a pickup he was out of nowhere, like brilliant, like, and again on power plays and stuff like that. Now we're seeing that more often, aren't we? And he was on a second line tonight because we was missing Johnny, weren't we?
Yeah,
Johnny Cornell wanted on this game, so Moose went up to second line with Bonner and Huey.
Yeah,
and a couple of people were saying about like the pace of the line, maybe a few more experienced heads, like obviously Huey and Moose. Not saying that Bones is an older lad, but but they seemed to work really well, didn't they? Like that experience, they didn't need to be rapid or backwards and forwards because they kept the puck really well and used it really well as well. So it was great to see them get a goal.
Yeah, absolutely, and that put us level for the game, which was obviously the main thing. And from there on into the end of the second period and into the third period, it was pretty much, well, it was deadlock for both teams, wasn't it? And again, a lot of this feel it like sort of end-to-end hockey, but the goaltending was just phenomenal. I'd like to think both teams' outfield players were getting really frustrated at the fact that they was making a lot of chances, and either the defensive side were very strong or the net minding was just out of this world.
Yeah, look, there's been a lot of talk, hasn't there, about Heskey coming in. Obviously, we've as a podcast have spoke about him a lot, being Hull fans, but we need to give a lot of credit to Gozzy, don't we? Like he's been the guy, import or not import, for so long in the league, and I think maybe he's sort of like. I saw him before the game. He was very calm, very like chilled, just waiting about before the game. And so it seemed like a little bit of a world of his own, and you almost think like, what's going through his head? Yeah, came out and had an absolute world.
It just goes about his business, I think, does Gospel, and is that decorated, and he's that confident in his own ability that he doesn't need to panic. He doesn't need to get into a sort of routine. I don't think where he has to feel like he's in a certain place to be able to play well. I think he can just do it.
Yeah, I agree.
It's become sort of second nature to him, and that's a credit to Leeds and himself, really. Just to get to that point can't be easy. But yeah, between him and Heskey, it very much was like, okay, this is the game of the netminders, as we mentioned.
Do want to give credit to both teams for going for it as well. I do think Hull outscored. Well, we looked at the stats, and they definitely did outshoot Leeds. But I do think in the third period we turned it up slightly, and did sort of get on the front foot for quite a large portion of that, and go for it.
It did feel like it was our game to win.
I agree, and that might be biased because we are Hull fans. But from where we were sitting, like it definitely seemed like Hull, wanted to get a grasp of the game and go for it, which
creativity.
And which is crazy to think about compared to like 2 months ago where we were. Absolutely admirable. Like I'm really, really happy that we're in this sort of spot that we are at the minute.
Yeah, me too. But that was a story of the regulation time, and we're going to overtime. So 2-2 overtime, and it was much of the same. Obviously 4-on-4 hockey, it was a bit different, a little bit more open, but as you'd expect, again, both netminders absolutely solid.
Yeah.
Both lines on both teams were being pretty solid. There felt like there was a lot on the line because you didn't see anyone overcommitting. There was a lot of skating it into the zone, maybe coming back a little bit, and just not wanting to give up possession because you knew it could cost you.
Yeah. Those free outfield, the free skaters from each team, where I think that shows a little bit of respect, doesn't it? Like I can't give this puck to Cornel or Svek because he's going to go, and the same for the other side as well. Like, we can't give the puck to Peyton because he's going to come down on us. So it definitely does show the sort of respect that they have for each other. But again, just absolutely, like, they might as well have put some bricks in the goals because neither keeper was getting beat, was they?
No, exactly. I feel like it was a little bit of game management. I think if they knew, like, from a Leeds perspective, if we didn't want to lose the game over anything silly, and from Leeds' perspective, they probably thought they had a better chance in shootout than they did in overtime. So it was a case of just trying to get to a shootout, really, and they did play quite conservative. And that was the story of overtime. Yeah. So it then went into a shootout, which I think at this point our nerves were, on a cliff's edge, weren't they? So,
definitely.
It was very, very nerve-wracking times, and we opened the scoring with Emil Svek, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I believe so. Emmy scored the first goal, didn't he? I think Brownie and Emmy both went, and then Brownie, I think Heskey saved, and Emmy scored, and there was like it took a bit of a while, didn't it? And I think then Sobbs scored, didn't he?
Yeah.
Sobbs scored, and then it was like 1-1 for ages, and ages, and then the last goal for each team was Emmy won it. So Emmy went again. I think it went around a few players quite a while for a little bit. It was just end to end, wasn't it? Loads of good saves, and Emmy sort of like skated it in, did a big circle round, and then sort of like dangled Gozzy and then like flicked it back into like the far corner, which was a really nice finish. And interestingly, Leeds went for a young kid, didn't they? So Danny Harrison took the last one. No disrespect to Danny, I think it's really bold of him to do that, you know, such a young kid. And fair play to Aldridge as well for giving him a sort of that opportunity rather than you know, throwing out Pacodzi or someone like that again. You know, like giving a young lad an opportunity like that in a shootout against a keeper like Heskey's no easy feat, and unfortunately obviously Heskey saved that as well. So a big 2 points wrapped up for the Seahawks on that one.
Yeah, massive 2 points as well. Like I say, it felt like a really must-win game. Obviously it was going to first have a double header. So we went to Leeds on the Friday night, and so I felt like it was a must-win. You know, hold your own ice against your local derby. Otherwise, you know, you've got the potential to have a bit of banana skin there. So we go into Friday night at Leeds. Leeds nights. Before
we get into this, I will openly admit to Brad and Azza, I said, out of this week, so obviously a double header against Leeds and then a game against Swindon, I said if we got 4 points this week that I'd be really happy with this. This is probably the one where I was thinking, this or maybe Sunday, where I was thinking I'm not 100% sure how this will go, just because obviously we know what Leeds can do at their home bad, and I didn't actually get to watch this, but thankfully correspondent Brad was definitely not missing this one. And you was really impressed, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. I thought it was a different performance from our guys on this night. And to be honest with you, I was getting a little bit frustrated on the stream because listening to the commentary, it was very much a case of, Leeds have had a bad night. They're not playing very well, and I thought it's just utter bullcrap, to be honest with you. It wasn't. I mean, the scoreline, in my opinion, reflects the game. I felt like we was on top for a lot of it. You know, Leeds just didn't have an answer for us. You know, we went out with a game plan and we executed it perfectly, and they just could not get the momentum going. And that's not, you know, to their discredit of playing bad. No. It's to our credit of playing well and managing them out as a team.
For sure.
And I think, you know, that was sort of the catalyst for us to go and take this game. We needed to go in with a game plan, execute it, and we knew that we had the quality in the netminder and outfield to get goals and give us chances, and we just did that. So
one thing I noticed about this game, I know that obviously you was updating us as the game was going, they seemed to score in really good moments. So like obviously the first goal that Hull Seahawks scored was through Emil Svek again, that top line of Svek, Stallard and Chamberlain coming up well with our first goal for the second time of the week. But that was 16 minutes in, wasn't it? So what was the first quarter of an hour like? Was it end to end? Was Seahawks on top? Like what?
No, it was end to end. In fairness to Leeds, like first 15 minutes was pretty much a similar experience to Wednesday night. In the sense that there was just, you know, both feeling each other out. Obviously, there's quite a lot of high energy at that point, and it's later on in the game where people start to feel it and mistakes happen, etc. But yeah, it was just seemed to be end to end. If anything, I'd have probably given the edge to Leeds for the first 10 minutes or so. And that was probably just to do with the atmosphere and.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a massive factor in it.
Yeah.
So this power play goal, how did it come about, and what was it like?
Can't remember, to be honest with you. No. I mean, there's been plenty of games this weekend for me for me to keep up with, but yeah, it was Emil Svek. Sorry,
Eddie
Vengus for tripping on that one. So yeah, we went on the power play and Emil Svek gets the goal. So.
Love that.
I mean, it's just typical of Emmy, innit? You know, when you need him to show up in big moments, he does tend to. You know, we've had discussions about him, and you know, sort of discussed the negative side of him is his own battles. He seems to be battling with himself a lot on the ice rather than anybody else, and when his mentality is there and his confidence is there, he plays amazing. And I always think he shows up at Leeds.
I think he really gets up for those big games, doesn't he? Which is really important. One thing I wanted to mention about this before we move on to the rest of the goals, Stallard. So obviously we've been missing Johnny Corneo for the last week or two, and obviously there was a big shout there for Stallard. Matty mentioned Stally had sort of gone to him and said, "I want to play in the middle now. I do want to play in the middle. Feel that's where I play the best." And he's gone up to first line, so he's been consistently churning out these sort of points. Like obviously again he's got an assist. So do we think like credit to Matty for making that choice? Credit to Stally for putting in those performances? Like there's a lot of credit to be given there.
I think it's a bit of both. Obviously, when you haven't got Johnny on the ice, you sort of need someone to take up that position. And Stally hasn't played as a centre for us up until recently.
Or when it was like second line, wasn't
it? So he didn't really. Yeah, of course. So he didn't really know what to expect on top line. But
he'd shift about a lot, wouldn't he?
He did. But I think he's been pretty good in that position. To be honest, like you say, he's come up with some pretty good points, and in periods when we've needed him as well, he does seem to inject a bit of energy here, there, and everywhere. When, especially in them moments where you need to find something. So, I think he's been playing really well. But obviously that first line, the used to chop and change quite a bit, didn't it?
When Sobs was here.
Exactly. We had Sobs. It'd be Cornel. It'd be Huey on there. So there's been a bit of change there. So it's nice to see him have a bit of continuity for a few weeks there, and
that's what Matty said actually, didn't he? When Sobs left, he said as much as this seems like a bad thing, it's going to allow us to get consistency now, which sort of has happened, other than Cornel getting injured, but then Stally slipped in there and done real well.
Of course.
Second goal then, like I said, good moments. So just after the second break, 22 minutes in, good time to get a goal in it, just after they've come back out. Leeds will have reset and been like, right boys, here's the plan, let's go. But it's not easy to execute a plan when you then concede again, is it?
No, absolutely. And to be honest with you, we haven't given this guy enough credit for his performance this whole weekend. Lee Bonner coming up with a very well deserved goal. Because he's waxed his bag off all weekend, and I think again we see different sides to Lee where he sort of goes under the radar, but then when he has a good game, he's like a clear man of the match pick. So he's gone through and got his goal 2-0 up, which is an ideal start for us. But I couldn't help but feel like, okay, that's just how Leeds started on Wednesday. So they went 2-0 up against us. Game's never done at that point. So
at what point was there was a bit of handbags as well, wasn't there? Was that during the second period? To try and get him back into the game, would you say, or was that a little bit further on?
Let's have a look. So
the
penalties for fighting were in the second period.
After the second goal, it seems that Hodge and Kieran Brown.
What's happened is Kieran Brown's put in a hit and
on Hodge.
No, not on Hodge. I think he did. I think it was on Ethan.
I
think it was.
Best mates them, aren't they?
Yeah, and Josh has just taken exception to that and gone and let Kieran Brown know. So if some of you might have seen the clip of the fight on there, but I think it was a pretty even fight. Probably a good time to do it as well, to try and, like you said,
shift the momentum.
Build some momentum or shift the momentum. So they both sat two for fighting, and we had a game on our hands, but
rest of the period pretty.
Rest of the period was pretty settled again, and it wasn't until the third period really when we started seeing some more action. So
a really good time to score, 49 seconds into the period as well.
Yeah, exactly. So Hull Seahawks opened the scoring in the third period with Bobby Chamberlain assisted by Stallard. No second assist there. Again 3-0 at that point, and it felt like, okay, we're in the third period, we're 3-0 up, Leeds have now got a mountain to climb, and all we had to do really there was to just manage the game out if we needed to, but I don't actually feel we let up the pressure.
No.
I don't. So Leeds got one back shortly after that, at 42 minutes and 6 seconds. Eddie Vengis, yeah. So that brings them back in the game a little bit, but like I said, we seem to be on top throughout, and in
27 seconds
later, Ethan Hare goes through and gets his goal.
Love that.
And again, he was another player that I felt was really needs his credit for that performance on that night, because obviously it's against his former side.
We don't exactly like him anymore. Let's be frank. Like, I know we've got players and people who watch us, but we've been to Leeds home and away this season many times, and I don't know what it is about Ethan. Maybe just the character that he is. He never gives up.
He puts everything into his shots as well.
They probably recognise what a kind of player he is and want to shut him down or something, but they don't like him, let's be fair. So, I feel like it would have been a nice icing on the cake for Ethan to get that one. Yeah, absolutely. So, no sooner than the lead score, we managed to get the momentum back, get the goal in, chalk it off essentially, and we're back to a 3-goal lead, and that was sort of the full story then for the rest of the period. It was just a very, very good performance from us, well managed. Like I say, we went in with a game plan, we executed it perfectly, and Heiskanen again in that net, just giving us the opportunities. Did you get man of the match on the night? I want to say I saw it on like Instagram or something. Where I think it was. Yeah, be surprised if he didn't. I know that. But top line had a good game.
But that was my sort of view on the night. But the stats do show that in terms of shots on goal, we had 29 and they had 28. There was
killed all their penalties. Which is good to see.
Yeah.
Last week, Matty touched on it actually, didn't he? About the penalty kills and penalty power plays being a little bit better or whatever, and they've smashed it there, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Love that.
So another great performance, and we did the double in the Yorkshire Derby, and then we moved on to Sunday, where we had another really tough fixture in top of the league, Swindon Wildcats at home at the Hull Ice Arena. What was your thoughts going into this one?
My thoughts going into this were I'd seen them the night before, and I thought that they was going to be up for it, if I'm being honest with you. They are very, very, very close to signing and sealing and delivering that league title, which they've been chasing for quite a while now. And we've spoke for like over a year now about this project and the next steps, and it's so close now. It's definitely theirs to lose, but I feel like if they'd have won tonight, if they'd have won on Sunday in our barn, then they would have been able to go next Friday in Bristol and win it on home ice. So there was definitely intent there to go and win that. With that, again, like I say, I'll hold my hands up, and this is no discredit to the Seahawks or anything like that, but I did wonder about this game because we've not been too successful against Swindon this year, have we?
No, agreed.
Obviously, we're a different team now, and this week has definitely shown that, and I'm so happy about the results, but it could have been one where, like, for example, it went to overtime, or you could see them getting a narrow victory. But 3 games, Brad, 3 wins.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 4-3 for those of you who don't know, to the Hull Seahawks. So it was a very close game, as to be expected. I mean, I'm not sure any of us could have predicted this, but we'll see, won't we?
So, the wrong segment, Brad. Let's just carry on.
We will see. But again, I was very impressed with our performance on the night. Obviously, we know what Swindon are like, and we do seem to concede early. And again, against Swindon, 1 minute 30 seconds into the game, they score through Aaron Nell.
Yeah, and that line that Nell's on with Viegas and Van der Maraka is trouble in it. That was like a story of their night, really. Like, they were really, really good. What's the word I'm trying to look for? Good
value for money.
Good value, definitely good value. And I think Viegas put it on a plate for Nell, like about 2 yards out of the goal at back stick, didn't he? Which is no discredit to Nell, obviously. Like, he's obviously on the line with those guys for a reason, but.
To lap up the points.
Well, I mean, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Like gaffer and coach, and puts himself beside two of the best imports in the league. Like, we'll leave that to him to explain.
Open to interpretation. He obviously knows that he can provide a little bit of extra bits to that line. But no, it was an interesting one. When at 1 minute 30 in, and we was a bit like, ooh, how is this going to go? But again, a massive credit to Seahawks. In your opinion, was it like, here come the floodgates? Because it wasn't to me at all. No, again, not to me. I was feeling confident in this, and it felt like it wasn't going to take that long. Obviously, Rennie Mari's a very good goaltender, and I think he did. He does keep Swindon in games and gives them opportunities in the same sense as what Heskey's doing for us. But I did feel like, okay, it's a matter of time before we score rather than a matter of if.
Are we going to?
So we get a power play, and Jason Hewitt opens the scoring for the Hull Seahawks at 9 minutes 43 seconds of the first period, and it's a 1-1 game.
Yeah.
But as time goes on, another 10 minutes or so ago, Logan van der Merake scored a fantastic goal, and he had absolutely no right.
This was goal of the night, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I think everybody who scored a goal on the night will know this. Like, no right.
I don't know. There was a close contender for goal of the night, which we'll come into.
Oh fair enough. Yeah, that was a ripper. But this one was like, he made Heskey look like all the other netters in the league, and with this one, did he? Like, where did he pick it up? Neutral zone. Plusy passed it to him. Then he picks it up in the neutral zone. Goes past one. Goes past two. Goes 1-on-1 with Heskey.
Drags
it and flicks it like literally just little chipper on it. Like
lifts it into the roof over his shoulder.
If Azza was here, he'd be a lot more animated than we are right now. But we all looked at each other as if to be like, oh wow. And Vandy just skates around as if to be like, like, this is what I can actually do with this. And I think that was a good reminder for us that we were still in a game, because I think, again, you look at Leeds, both games, first Wednesday, for example, they go 2-0 up and we come back and it's like, we're going to win. You go to Leeds on the Friday and you go up 3-0 up and you think, we're going to win. But it was good to see the test for us, to see if we've got the bottle to come back kind of thing. And obviously they did, because but that just before the first period was probably a good time for Matty to be like, boys, you need to realise, like, we're still in this, and this, it's not about the 7 wins before, it's still about this win, and we need to keep at it. So it was good, but no right on that one.
No. But we went into the second period 2-1 down to the Wildcats again, but no massive alarm bells ringing really there. So we're going to the second period, and Bo Reader,
Big Bo, the guest on our latest Slapshot special. So I'm not gonna lie here, mate. Van der Merake scores a well the other goal. He's had a Slapshot special. Bo Reader has a Slapshot special, and he goes and bags up. If you want to score amazing goals, guys, to get in touch with.
On the podcast.
No, but it was good for Bo, this one, wasn't it? When we sort of had that interview this week, he had such a mature head on his shoulders. He was saying like, he's just willing to do whatever Matty wants for him. He said, I know my job is to go out there and give the first and second line a rest, but I'm going to give it everything I can while he did. And mate, look at what he did.
He reaps the rewards for it, for his hard work and his graft and his humility more than anything. He's, like you say, he's got a very old head on his shoulders, and that does show. He gets himself into positions. He don't give up on things. He chases everything down, and he does. Occasionally, he gets the put back, or he'll put the pressure on that he needs to, and he picks up points.
He does. He does. And, for a 16-year-old lad, there's not much more you can ask of, really, is there?
No, definitely not.
This goal in particular was really nice as well. I actually thought that Spraggan had scored it. So Tommy Spraggan had it on the blue line, didn't he? And he ripped it towards goal. And I thought it had shot straight in, and I was like, go on, Sprags. And Azza was like, that was Bo. And when I watched the replay, the little redirect tip that he did was unreal. I was like, so happy for Bo with that one. Like, really, really good. But there's stuff like that where you mentioned that Bobby's been real good for him on, in training, taking him aside, doing bits with him, and that kind of like tip and stuff. Like, definitely a learned thing. Like you can just see, shades of other people rubbing off on it 100%.
Yeah, definitely. So then we had a level game at this point, and not too long afterwards, again, Swindon Wildcats taking the lead with Dylan Lipsey.
Yeah.
So that was we'd not led the game at this point. So as it was moving on into the end of the second period, you're thinking, okay, now's the time to do it. We've still got 20 minutes of hockey to play, but you really have to come out and find.
With no disrespect to Swindon, though, do you feel like this one was a little bit maybe against the run of play? Like,
absolutely.
And it was sort of like, and it was like all the crowd almost went, and it was like,
it was
woo, and you can hear them, but
it
was interesting, that one. But again, another reminder that
they're not gone, are they?
They're in the first spot for the reason.
Absolutely. So then we came into the third period and we needed to sort of get going quickly.
Yeah.
I think I said to you at the end of the second period when you said, how do you see this one going? And I said, right, okay, we're going to get a goal quite early on, equalise, and then go on and get the second goal. And that's exactly what happened. So,
Mystic Mike struck again.
Josh Hodgkinson with an absolute brilliant chance on his own.
This was heart.
This was all graft and, like you say, all desire to actually get that puck and stick it in the back of the net. So he picks up the puck.
Stally hit it long.
I think it was.
Stally maybe hit it long towards Rennie Marr, didn't he?
Yeah, but Hodges chased the puck, got hold of it, and then skated it in.
He did.
So he skated it all the way through. I think he's gone through about 3 players.
That's right, actually, yeah.
And then he's gone around the net, and he's literally, you can see him sort of like leaning to reach the puck, and
the puck went to Rennie Marr, didn't he? So Rennie's come out of his crease and he has it like the side, and most skaters just like sort of let the keeper have it because they don't want to interfere. But Hodge like went around the back of him and sort of nicked it, didn't he?
No.
I thought he did, and then
skated it all the way through and then got round and then
I thought he nicked it and then then he did the wrap round. Maybe
Rennie was already in his crease.
Oh no, but I thought he had it at the side and then once he'd lost it, sort of skated back in, and that's how Hodge got
around it. Yeah, no, I don't think he actually had it, Rennie. I think he was just sort of like
just come out to sort of try and get
that side of the post because Hodge had already skated it in at that point.
Yeah,
but like you say, Rennie sort of at one side of the post and Hodge just does with like all desire right around the back of the net and come round with a wrap round and managed to sneak it in on the inside post, which was just that spoke volumes for our form. I think at the moment, it's not all at what's at the back. It's every single player in front of them doing their bit, and he's a real grafter, is Hodge, and that was a moment. That was a moment that we needed.
It was a moment,
and it was a hard work moment.
It kicked us on, didn't it, as well? Yeah. Like I think Hodge as well, maybe like I don't know whether once or twice he'd given away like the puck or hit it long or something. You could see him in his face like, oh, come on, So I think that was almost like a kick up the arse for himself to be like, come and show him what. And he really did put the team on his back in that little moment there.
Yeah. And then our final goal came at 48 minutes 20 seconds in, so a couple of minutes after Josh Hodgkinson's goal in Jack Musil. Moose, yeah. Again, great value for money, and he's proving that right now. So a power play goal scored, and at that point it was a case of, okay, there's 10 minutes left in the period, we need to hold on to the first lead we've had in the whole game.
Yeah.
And did we just do that?
Did we do that? The defence stood on their heads. The forwards was really good 2 ways, but let's talk about the man again, because there was a lot of chat about Heskey after the game about some of the saves he made. I think there was one with his glove at one point where he's like, we put one on our story as well, do you remember on that? They pulled the keeper at the end, didn't they? And I can't remember, it was Vegas had that shot right at the end, and he's almost like Premier League saved it, like around his post. It was just like Heskey made some ridiculous saves.
We had 2 empty net chances, didn't we in this.
Bobby at the post, didn't he? So it could have been a 5-3 and maybe someone's prediction would have been ruined.
Yeah.
But no, Heskey, we need to give Heskey a massive load of credit here, don't we? Like, I think the defence were really good value as well, but he was the main man again, wasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. So that was all she wrote. Hull Seahawks taking this one 4-3 and again extending their win streak to 8-game win streak.
One more significant thing as well.
Coventry.
We've officially, well, maybe not so much Coventry, but we
the final four
qualified for the playoffs, didn't we? Which is really exciting. And again, good value, because I think a couple of months ago when we was down maybe 6th or 7th, it was a bit like, oh, how was it going to fare? Was looking at like being in the seedings of 2nd, 3rd, 6th and 7th, weren't we?
I was just going to say, like, there's been talk, hasn't there, about, you know, where would you prefer to finish in the playoffs for the seedings, and in actuality, with this form we've going on at the minute, I think we can do this against any team. So it doesn't matter. I think just go for as high as a finish you can get.
It. And look how close we are now. Actually, I know we don't usually go into the standings at this point in the podcast, but you know we're 1 point behind Peterborough. We're 3rd now.
Yeah,
a level on points with Leeds.
Yeah, exactly. But we will come into that, Alex. So
we will, but just as a talking point, though, that's unbelievable. You know, like, to be that close to Leeds, like, that is really, really, truly admirable. So
yeah, definitely. Considering a couple of weeks ago, I think there was about 5 or 6 points in between us and the third. Whoever was third at that point.
Leeds,
so,
maybe.
It is definitely something we've managed to just claw some results out of. Teams where we've really needed to get the results, because like you said before, the game in hand we had against Leeds, they're very, very important fixtures. So
I just think everything seems to be going really well at the moment. I don't want to jinx things, so obviously I'm touching wood that this continues, but they've put themselves in such a good position at the end. I think it's just such a great vibe at the moment. And I know people who aren't Hull fans will be watching this being sick, as if to be like, let's just skip on to around the league or whatever. And that's fine, but whilst we're Seahawks fans, and we are lapping it up, aren't we?
Yeah, we are, absolutely. And we've been calling for it all season, and it's now feels like it's coming to fruition at the perfect time for us. So.
Absolutely.
But with that said, a fantastic weekend. We'll wrap Seahawks reactions up there, because we've talked about it more than long enough for you who aren't Seahawks fans, and we'll move into the results of the last week and the standings.
Absolutely.
Okay, welcome back. So this is where we're going to go into the results of the last week and then go into the standings. So we had quite a few midweek fixtures this week. Brilliant for a hockey fan.
Absolutely.
Bit of a nightmare for us when we're trying to go through all the results and work out what we've covered and what we haven't covered.
This is well and truly going to be quickfire, guys.
So we started on Tuesday, the 17th of February, and the Sheffield Steel Dogs hosted the Telford Tigers. Telford taking this one 4-2. At Sheffield as well.
Interesting one, this one, isn't it? I think a big win for Telford, definitely. Sheffield at this point could just not buy a win, could they?
No,
which is ironic because they've got a lot of money because of Steelers. But no, it was. I think that was 5 games in a row that they lost at that point. Which, to say that they're second in the league and the fact that they've made a cup final is crazy, isn't it? So
but Telford are a very good team. The thing I found ironic is with these midweekers, when teams are travelling.
Usually you're against them.
You normally go for the home side, but credit to Telford, they've gone and done the business there at Sheffield, which is notoriously a hard place to go and get results.
Absolutely.
Then we moved on to the Wednesday, 18th of February, where we had 3 fixtures. The first of which was the Bristol Pitbulls versus the Swindon Wildcats. Swindon taking this one 6-5 in overtime, so a very good show from the Bristol Pitbulls.
Very good show, and a point that they won't have expected to get, I think. I think that's the main thing that you need to take from this. Nothing to be ashamed of at all. Swindon always have a tough game when they go to the Bristol Pitbulls. Don't know if it's always the same when Bristol go to Swindon, but they can keep their heads held up high, can't they? I think that's a really good showing from them.
Definitely.
And credit to Swindon for going and doing that, because if when you've got that point away from home, you can almost sort of be like, well, that's all right.
They're almost home and dry now, Swindon, for the league title. So every single game and every single point they pick up is going to feel massive for them. Credit to them. 6-5 overtime win. Then we had the Hull Seahawks and the Leeds Knights, which we've covered in Seahawks Reaction, but for those of you who've just skipped to this, Seahawks took this one 3-2 in a shootout win at the Hull Ice Arena. So then we had the Peterborough Phantoms against the Romford Raiders. Peterborough at home and Romford taking this one 5-2. So similarly to us talking about, Telford travelling away and beating Sheffield, Romford have travelled to Peterborough, which I know is not too far, and taking it 5-2, which is a great showing for them. But we have said about Romford, they've got the quality in this side.
I think going into this week, Romford were probably one of the form teams in the league as well. I'd say maybe us was like top of the form table, and Romford and Solway maybe quite closely followed. But I think there's a big win this, because not too many teams go to Peterborough and get positive results, do they?
No, that's what I mean. Like at home, Peterborough, you tend to back them
all the time, and especially with the amount of points that they put up that first line and even the second line as we go into the other fixtures, like. They are able to score a lot of points, so the fact that they've come out with a big 5-2 win is a big testament to them, the decor, and obviously a big Hull Seahawks goal. Yeah, absolutely. So big 2 points there for Romford. Then we moved into the Thursday, 19th of February, and we just had the one fixture that night, which was the Basingstoke Bison hosting the Milton Keynes Lightning. Milton Keynes taking this one 4-3, so another close game, but MK going and doing the business. Yeah, big talking point this week around MK, wasn't there, with Tim Wallace departing. Well, departing might not be the right word, so... Taking a leave of absence. Taking an extended leave of absence, which we're not too sure about. And his assistant coach has departed, that was confirmed. Yeah. Lewis Christie, who was like an ex-player for them, I think he actually skated at one point when he was really injured this season. He is taken over, and first game going to the Bison and getting a 4-3 win is a really good result, I'd say. Bison are a good favourite at home, and to say the fact that MK can score like 5, 6, 7 goals on you, can't they? It's a bit. I feel like this will be a disappointing one for them. In terms of it being a 1-goal narrow one. Maybe they could have tried to pinch a point or something, but overall I don't think it's the worst result for the Bison, do you? No, definitely not. Obviously it would have been preferable if they'd have got to overtime and nicked a point there, but Milton Keynes Lightning, we don't really know what we're going to get with them at the moment, and they've, that's probably telling for some teams. You don't know which MK is going to turn up. You can have come away with the 2 points relatively easily, or you'll lose in a flash and you won't know what's happened. The only thing I can think of for Bison at the moment is these ones will be frustrating because it's so close now. And with them being where they are in the table, they need to start picking up points if they're going to try and go for that 8th spot. Yeah, agreed. And they've had a couple of tough fixtures on the horizon from this game. So okay, then we had the Friday night fixture, which was the Leeds Knights versus the Hull Seahawks at Leeds. And again, we've covered this in Seahawks Reaction, but Hull Seahawks taking this one 4-1 in what was a very different standard of game and very good performance from the Hull Seahawks. Absolutely. Then we move on to our normal weekend fixtures. And relax. That's a normal. We've speed run it, and it works perfectly. So, Saturday the 21st of February, we had 5 games across the league, starting with the Swindon Wildcats against the Basingstoke Bison at Swindon, and Swindon taking this one 4-2. So again, as we just mentioned, Basingstoke had a couple of tough fixtures ahead of them, but managing to get 2 goals at Swindon's, again, it's not easy for teams to do. No. And Swindon have, they've taken this. They've just done the business, haven't they, at home, like they normally do. And I was in the house for this one, wasn't I? It was indeed. So Alex's travel to Swindon this weekend gone. My wife. For those who don't know, my wife, her sister lives down in Royal Wotton Bassett, which is the Beverley of Swindon, I'd say, just on the outside, on the outskirts, basically. And I pulled them all into coming. The other 2 wanted to go. My wife's not the biggest ice hockey fan because it's all I talk about, really. But she said she really enjoyed the game. The Bison in this game, where I wouldn't say there was unfortunate. I do think Swindon was worth the win, but I did feel for the Bison because I feel like, and I spoke to Dan about this, from Macca's, Dan Connors. Spoke to Dan after this. I feel like if they had a 4th line, the Bison, they would pick up a lot more points. Just because I feel like it gets to the third period and they're playing these teams that are like four lines all the time, and they've only got 3. Like Zach Shankar, for example, is on literally every other shift. On, off, and it's like there's only so much you can do. And Max Wright obviously kept him in it really till the end. They scored an empty net goal at the end to make it 4-2. But unfortunate for the Bison. But again, a massive win, like you said, for Swindon, who were in the hunt for that title, making it a 4-point week so far. And I think a really positive one for them, and the crowd were buzzing, and there was one woman in the Bison stand going, "Come on, Bison!" like 100 times, even when they're like 3-1 down or something, all the time. So their fan base is top tier, to be fair.
Great stuff. So then we had the Bristol Pitbulls against the Peterborough Phantoms in Bristol, and Peterborough taking this one in overtime, 7-6. So high scoring game.
So Pitbulls have scored 11 goals in 3 days, and they've come out with 2 points.
I know, that's
which
crazy.
Seems a bit harsh, doesn't it? That, but on one hand they have, but they could have lost in regulation. So those little OT points that they are picking up may be telling towards the end of the season. If they can just sneak that sort of 8th spot or make that gap even smaller, then I think they'll be really happy with that. But obviously, if you're a forward in that team and you're putting up all these points, I don't want to sound too harsh, but I don't know whether you're looking over your shoulder at those behind you and thinking, well, I'm doing the business over here, boys, like, come on, I need you to be pulling yours as well. But we didn't watch the game, so I can't comment too much, so that might sound a bit harsh, but you know what I mean, don't you?
I do, yeah. But no, this is a big win for Peterborough to get that overtime win, and obviously, you know, they're in the run-in for playoffs as well. So
I think the Phantoms are qualified for the playoffs as well with this one, maybe the game before it. This fun fact about this one: Lackanen, Ferrara, and Huff all got 5-point nights on that night.
Yeah,
jokers.
They are. That line is, you know, probably arguably the best line.
Stupid. First and second in statistics for the league.
Then we'll move on. So we had the Milton Keynes Lightning hosting the Telford Tigers. MK took this one 8-2.
Resounding that.
Absolutely. So, I don't know what's happening in this MK team since the departure of Wallace. But
Lewis Christie's coming in and doing bits apparently. But I don't want to be that guy. Don't clip this, right? But is it a case of the players weren't playing for Tim Wallace? Or was it a case of, you know, fresh ideology, new lines, shifting it up a little bit? I don't know, but why was they on such a torrid, patchy streak? But then Lewis Christie comes in and all of a sudden they're beating the likes of Telford, who I'm sure a couple of weeks ago beat MK in their barn.
Yeah.
What's the change? What's the shifter?
Yeah, I don't know, but if there's any MK fans out there who've, you know, got a bit of context to this or want to give us a bit of insight as to how they've been playing since this change, would be grateful to know it.
And massive credit to him. Like Matt Cowler, I think he scored a hat-trick in this game. He's been really good, value for.
Well, yeah, they know what they're going to get with Mac, don't they?
Since he's coming from Leeds, so he's been a real good signing for him. But I think Jordan County, I think he maybe got 4 assists in this game as well. Like, really, these big players are starting to sort of come back round now and show what they're made of, which is good.
Yeah, and then we had the Sheffield Steel Dogs hosting the Romford Raiders, and Sheffield narrowly taking this one 3-2.
Yeah, so was this a repeat from earlier in the week? Oh no, they had Telford earlier in the week, didn't they? So Romford, so arguably Romford, a team that is probably in better form than Telford, and they managed to get through that 3-2 win. Mm-hmm. Big win for Sheffield.
Yeah, massive. Like I said, they've had a bit of a difficult time recently trying to find a win. And you said earlier they couldn't seem to buy one, but that's now 2 on the bounce for them, and you know it's going to be huge for them in them trying to push towards playoff, and obviously the cup final that they've got coming up. They need that momentum, don't they?
They needed something. They needed some sort of wake up, didn't they, to snap them back into gear, and getting that win is to break that terrible form is massive for them.
Yeah, absolutely. So fair play to Steel Dogs there.
Yeah.
Then we had the Solway Sharks hosting the Leeds Knights in Solway. Again, a notoriously difficult place to travel to. And Solway taking this one 5-3.
Can you believe this? So
I can't actually. I think I've gone Leeds in the predictor for this.
So this marks a 0-point week for Leeds.
Yeah.
2 losses against us, then topped off by Solway beating them. I don't know whether it's injuries, fatigue. I don't know.
Saving themselves for the final that they've got coming up. You just don't know.
You don't know, but mate, it's not good. It doesn't seem good to be a Leeds player or fan right now when you're going into your the first leg of the final on the back of 3 losses.
Yeah.
It's concerning. You've got the likes of Gozzi who can come up in any game.
He can win you a game.
You've got big players in that team, haven't you? But ideally, you want to have a couple of wins behind you or under your belt, or being in good form for that. They scored 3 goals, obviously, so that they have played all right there, haven't they? Obviously, but a big win for Solway. That race for 8th place is well and truly on, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And Solway been really good for the full second half, if not longer, of this season at home.
Their form's been class on it.
Yeah, it's been amazing, and I think we've probably written them off just because of the teams they're going up against at home, and they've proved us wrong time and time again.
Yeah, well, they proved some of you wrong. I actually backed Solway to beat Leeds last week, so
yeah, that's only because you got a soft spot for them there.
With point to point, mate.
Okay, so we'll move on into the Sunday fixtures on the 22nd of February, and starting us off, Basingstoke Bison hosting the Solway Sharks. Basingstoke taking this one 3-2 in a shootout.
Massive win for Basingstoke.
But a big point for Solway.
But a big point for Solway, especially with them being so close to each other. I don't know if you probably are happy about the 2 points, but it's just a bit of I can't believe we've given a point. But the Bison needed a win, didn't they? I think this last 3 or 4 weeks of the regular season are going to be, I think there's 4 weeks of the regular season left, aren't they?
Yes.
They're going to be huge for the Bison. Not to sound harsh or to put them on the spot, but every single team in that bottom 4 need to start winning games. You can't be overtime losing. You can't be losing. It needs to be wins. If you want to be in that 8th spot, then it's time to show up. And for the Bison, their season back, I do not think at all that they've had a bad season. I think they've had a lot of hurdles in their way. I think they've had a lot to come up against, but I think they have had a really solid. They've got a foundation of a really good team going next year. Get some extra legs in, I'd say, and then I think they'll be there. But it'll be interesting to see what they do in the running water.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so then we had the Romford Raiders against the Sheffield Steel Dogs. Sheffield taking this one in overtime 5-4. There's been some really close games this weekend. But yeah, again, that's a big result for Sheffield, because to get this additional point away as well against Romford, and they've got goals in them, and at home they just seem to be a different beast.
Yeah.
So
typically, don't they? Over this little tiny patch.
Yeah.
Going to Sheffield was the place that you was going to get beat like 6-2 or something like that. Won it. Bergenjinov and Walkerson was just going to have a night against you. Play real well on their home ice, but they are typically quite good away from home, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. They've been really good value away from home. So I'd say one of them.
I'd say one of the better travelling teams for sure. Yeah, definitely. And I think at this point they're not going to go for the league, are they? They just want to get some good wins under the belt. And this overtime, getting a win in overtime as well, a little bit of a different scenario to the night before. Maybe a good bit of practice for the final if they get to that point. But also as well for this one, just want to note Bergenjinov 4 goals and an assist in this game for the fact that they scored 5. So
yeah, he's won this game practically on his own.
He's a jerk shot, mate. He's really good. So fair play to you, Bear. He's always been sound to the podcast. Didn't want to shout him out just because of that, but I think when you have these individual games, you need to drop names, don't you?
Yeah,
he's definitely one of them.
Yeah. And then we had the Hull Seahawks against the Swindon Wildcats at Hull, and we've talked about this one. Hull taking the win 4-3, which again was huge for us. Peterborough Phantoms hosted the Bristol Pitbulls, and Peterborough took this one 8-3.
Bristol have took some goals this weekend, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they'll probably be disappointed with this because they've put in some relatively decent performances during the week.
Kept in games and stuff like that.
They've kept in games, but
to flip it, like we can't like automatically. I went to Bristol there, but you've got to give credit to Peterborough. So
100%. Because I was just going to say, between
in 2 nights, it's 15 goals are scored.
Jan Ilakkinen, Cam Huff, and Luke Ferrara, all three of them just bag up. They just bag up week in, week out. So
one good thing about Peterborough, though, especially at this stage as well, is that the Rutherlands are creeping into it. So Dylan Lawrence, he was in our team of the week not too long ago. He got a hat-trick in this game, I know. Morgan Clark-Pisa, I don't know whether he's on second or third line for Peterborough, but he got 2. So, like, although it's great to see that first line doing so well, they will, like, we've sort of said this to Peterborough and sort of like thrown out a metaphorical challenge to can the other line step up as well. And in this game, like, if you actually looked through all the scores and stuff, they did that. So if I was their gaffer at this point, I'd be like really happy. Ash Tate will be thinking, yes, it's coming together now. And obviously in the standings we'll see that, won't we?
Yeah. So the final game of the weekend was the Telford Tigers hosting the Milton Keynes Lightning, and Milton Keynes taking this one 6-4, which honestly, I would not have guessed this, because Telford are just so good at home and they can score so many goals. Like, the game can be over before you've even started it. But Milton Keynes, again, showing that they've still got something left in the tank and they're starting to find some form now. So, going to be very interesting moving forward.
Arguable sleeping giant, would you say?
They could be.
That sleeper, that MK side that won the league, won the playoffs last year. You know, they still have a lot of personnel from that. You know, with that experience. You know,
can't write them off.
As Lewis Christie come in and sort of injected that, you know, umf them, where they're like, you know what, we do believe in ourselves and we are going to do something. So, is this a 6? I want to say this is a 6-point week for MK, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we was buzzing with the fact that we got our 6-point week, weren't we? But you can't take anything off MK at all. Like, doing a double over Telford is no easy feat, and then obviously midweek they'd be Bison as well, away from home. So, you know, some of those games, like going to Telford and Bison away, is quite tricky. So, a massive kudos to MK. They have done really, really well.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll take a look at the standings quickly and start in first position, who have qualified for the playoffs. Swindon Wildcats, 46 played, 71 points. In second place, also qualified for the playoffs, 47 played, 62 points, is Sheffield Steel Dogs. Peterborough Phantoms in third, qualified for the playoffs, 46 played, 58 points. Leeds Knights in fourth, qualified for the playoffs, 46 played, 57 points. Hull Seahawks are in fifth position, also qualified for the playoffs, 46 played, 57 points, so the same as Leeds there. Telford Tigers in sixth, not yet qualified, 46 played, 50 points. Milton Keynes Lightning in seventh, 46 played, 50 points. Romford Raiders in eighth, 46 played, 43 points. Solway Sharks in ninth, 46 played, 38 points. Bristol Pitbulls in 10th, 46 played, 35 points. And Basingstoke Bison in 11th, 45 played, 34 points. So, from first to fifth, they've all qualified for the playoffs as of now.
And from second to fifth, there's only 5 points in it, Brad.
There is.
That is crazy, isn't it?
Absolutely. And from third to fifth, there is 1 point.
Yeah, there is, and they've all got a game in hand on Sheffield. So these playoff seedings could be.
Oh yeah,
you can't predict it at the minute,
definitely
can
you? Not done yet.
It's crazy.
There's going to be some movement, I think, in the next week or two in this standings, and hopefully it's us. But, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
But
where do we start then? Like, obviously that was a good start, but Swindon. Let's start with Swindon. So they are on 71 points at the minute. The maximum Sheffield Steel Dogs can get is 76. So that says if they beat Bristol at home on Friday, then guess where they travel on Saturday and can win the league?
Swindon.
Yeah, where is Swindon going?
Oh yeah, they can win it in Sheffield, can't they?
Can win it in Sheffield. Like, can you imagine that? So your title rivals all season, and you go and win it in their barn. Those 300 people will be buzzing, won't they? Only joking.
Yeah, it's not much of an atmosphere, is it, for Swindon to win?
I don't know though. You know, with it being Sheffield and Swindon, there might be a few extra heads in there. I would say that there would be, but hell of a game that. Yeah, hell of a game. But yeah, no. And even if not, like, it only rolls on to the next week. Like, they've put themselves into such a good position, aren't they, now, where it really is theirs to lose. Our Seahawks, let's touch on them pretty quickly. A real good fight back to get themselves where they are in the table.
Yeah, absolutely. And momentarily overtook Leeds this weekend.
They did.
So yeah, there's been a great fight back from them, and they've put themselves right in contention, where in actuality second and third position is definitely up for grabs. So
Milton Keynes have put themselves into quite a nice position as well, so that they started the week on 44 points, I want to say, before their 6 point week, so there was only 1 point ahead of where, if they hadn't got those points, then they'd been 1 point ahead of Romford in 8th, and now they've put themselves pretty, like, a good 7 point gap there, aren't they? So that's pretty good. It really is now for me a big race between that bottom four. Like, although Romford have got a bit of a nice gap of 5 points there, you know, if they end up playing the teams below and they get a victory, you know, that soon shortens down a lot, doesn't it? And you know, that's 2 weeks, isn't it? If you have a good little run, it can completely change there. So
Solway out of this,
5 points. If anybody, Brad, who would you say would Solway be the team for you that you think could sneak it? If not Romford, obviously.
I think they could, definitely. If it's not going to be Romford, it's going to be Solway. I just don't know if Romford are a little bit better value for money at the moment.
I would say I think the depth that they've got really good form at home. Solway do as well, but we've seen Romford more often than Solway go on road trips and do what they did earlier in the week, where they can sort of put in good performances or get points off teams, can't they?
Agreed, But it's heating up really nicely. I think, you know, these playoffs, the next few weeks where you're coming into the playoff seedings is going to be really interesting to keep an eye on, and then obviously we've got some of the best hockey of the whole season coming up, so
playoffs, can't wait.
Exciting times. But we'll wrap that up there. That's the results of the last week and the current standings. We'll move into this week's team of the week. Okay, so we're going to go into our team of the week for this week, and it's fair to say there was a fair few shouts, weren't there, for this? I mean, obviously with the amount of games I've got, some people have got some massive points, but it makes it really hard to choose. But we're going to start with the netminder, which wasn't so much of a hard decision.
This is going to be a shock horror, this, isn't it?
Alexanteri Heiskanen from the Hull Seahawks, and we know he's one of our own, and to be honest with you, we don't really care because his stats are speaking for himself at the moment, and if you see him in person, you'll probably agree. So on Wednesday night, he was massive in the win against Leeds at home, saved 30 out of 32 shots, not including the shootout, and he helped us that 3-2 victory. On Friday night, again helping the Seahawks to do the double over Leeds, conceding just once despite facing 28 shots. And on Sunday night, helps tie up the 6 point weekend and secure the qualification for the playoffs against the Swindon Wildcats, saving 25 out of 28 shots. So that's a 93.5% save percentage across all 3 games, conceding 6 goals all week.
That's unbelievable, isn't it?
He is absolutely fantastic, and his little celebration that he does, well-deserved celebrations. He's not just celebrating over anything. He is celebrating.
He hasn't shipped 6 goals and he's like lapping it up, is he?
Exactly, and he's just been absolutely key for us, and I think it's fair to say he's put the rest of the league on notice that He's here to do the business. Is it
too early to say that the C word might be a real possibility? I'm not saying that C word for those people thinking I'm talking about Coventry.
I mean, I
don't want to jinx it. Let's touch wood, but Brad, it's a possibility now with him in the net.
Yeah, I'm getting more and more excited as the weeks go by. Let's put it that way. But I like to keep my cards close to my chest. Yeah.
Right, okay, well, let's move on to our next player then. And we are going to the Bison this week, who, although they have been facing a little bit of difficulty, they have been churning out some good defensive performances, so it's only fitting that our first defenceman is Zach Shankar. So obviously Zach is a friend of the pod, but this was no relation to his inclusion this week, because again, you know, although they only picked up that one win this week, and it was in the shootout or overtime against Solway. Sorry, it slipped my mind, but regardless, you know, the game against Solway, that was really impressive defensively, and MK, they only, you know, kept them down quite a lot. And again, Zach has been a massive part of that, because he, like I said, he's on that first line with usually Moggy, but he's on and off. He's on with different D partners. He's on every other shift, and you know, he's been really, really important to them defensively. Yeah. But this week he also contributed going forward as well, which, when you've got a free line defence, it's really hard to do both, in it, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so he got a goal against MK, I believe. So he scored a goal against MK on Wednesday, and he got assists in both of the games against Swindon and against Solway. So fair play to you, Zach. It must be tough at the moment being in that Bison camp when, you know, they're probably a little bit beat up. They've had a hell of a lot of fixtures,
dragging them through.
And there's a certain few players in that team that are really, you know, dragging it up.
Refusal to quit, isn't it?
Absolutely, it's really admirable.
Okay, so our next defenceman is Milton Keynes Lightning, Malik Martelli. Malik's started this week with a goal in the 4-3 win against Bison, then chipped in a goal and 2 assists against Telford in their 8-3 victory, and helped tie up a 6-point weekend with obviously a big win in Telford, beating the Tigers 6-4 and bridging the gap between MK and Romford. But Malik Martelli is a fantastic D-man. I mean, we've watched him and we've talked about him multiple occasions, but he just goes about his business, and he seems to do, even when Milton Keynes have been in a sticky situation, he still seems to go and perform. So it's great to see him getting points going forward as well. Absolutely. So
it's tough, isn't it, when we don't watch every single team in the league. If there was a match of the day for our division, it'd be brilliant, and it probably would feature more in our team of the week. When everyone's got 0 point stats on the game sheet, it's hard to choose them to go in the team of the week. But Malik's, there's no surprise there that elite league teams are sniffing around MK, around Malik. You know, he's a top quality D man. He brings something different. His speed is unbelievable, but he also can do it going forward as well. So fair play to Martelli. Probably haven't featured as much as we would like, because we do admire him as a player. But fair play to you, Malik. Next one, we are going to the Bristol Pitbulls, and obviously we spoke about their week this week, about them only getting the 2 points from the 3 games. However, this guy, maybe not the one that people are thinking of. So he is a Canadian, he is from the Pitbulls, but it is John Dunbar this week. So again, it's been another high scoring week for the Pitbulls, but going forward, maybe not the other side. So obviously probably the results that they would have wanted from the week, but John got 2 goals and 2 assists against Swindon in that 6-5 overtime loss on Wednesday. He then chipped in another 2 goals and 3 assists versus Peterborough in the 7-6 overtime loss, and then he topped his weekend off. Not a great team performance, but he got all 3 assists for all 3 goals in the 8-3 loss on Sunday. So he's ended the weekend with 4 goals and 8 assists. So 12 points in 3 games is very admirable. You can't ask much more from your imports, can you?
No, definitely not. So JD, fair play. Again, another player that we probably would have wanted in our team of the week more, but deserves his spot this week. Yeah, absolutely, fair play. So our next forward is Sheffield Steel Dogs, and it is no other than Bear Genjanov. This guy continues to impress us and everybody, I think, around the league, and he's had a 6 goal, 2 assists over the weekend. 8 points is racked up, and he continues to just be that sort of bright spark for Sheffield despite the patchy form. And on Tuesday he scored a goal and in a 4-2 home loss, which was a bit tough, but he's playing his part there. On Saturday he scored a goal and assisted in the 3-2 win over Romford at home. But in the away game to Romford, he got 4 goals and 1 assist in the away win.
And that was like a 5-4 game, wasn't it?
So he's pretty much single-handedly won that game and got them hopefully back on track for where they need to be coming into the.
They needed 2 big wins before that, or they needed a big win before the game next week. And Romford are not a team to be looked over, and that's a really good one to get. So fair play. Lastly, we do have another Canadian, and we are going to the Peterborough Phantoms this week, so there'll be no doubt about it that it is Cam Huff. So Cam has been on red hot form this week again. He's helped Peterborough to a 4-point week. Midweek, obviously they had that loss to the Raiders, but he did score in that game. He then took it up a gear at the weekend, chipping in 2 goals and 3 assists against the Bison in that overtime win. He then scored 2 goals and got 2 more assists at home in the 8-3 win. So there were a couple of players for Peterborough this week, the likes of Yanni, Luke Ferrara, Dylan Lawrence, who all deserved their shouts, but with 5 goals and 5 assists in 3 games, it's pretty hard not to have him in, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. 10 points over them games, so like that's massive. Yeah,
more than 3 points, like.
Definitely. So, fair play. Congratulations to all those that have been in this week's Team of the Week. We've just got a few mentions. First one is the hat-trick heroes in Mac Howlett and Dylan Lawrence. Mac Howlett got his hat-trick against Telford, and Dylan Lawrence against Bristol, which we touched upon. And also you can't forget, you've just briefly mentioned them, but Luke Ferrara and Yanni Lackinen bagged up with 5-point nights on Saturday.
Yeah. And one more to mention as well. I think Jake Bricknell deserves his shout out as well, because again, although Bristol had a bit of a torrid time conceding goals this week, he was really close to Dunbar in terms of the amount of points he's got. So lots of players that you could have in this week. But I think we like our choices, don't we, this week? They all deserve the spots. A big credit to the Hull Seahawks decor as well. I think how many goals did we ship this week? What, 1, 2, 3, 6 goals all week against Swindon and 2 games against Leeds. If you're a Hull Seahawks defenseman, then big credit to you. But overall, good choices, I'd say, mate.
Absolutely. So let's move on then into the results of our predictions and the upcoming fixtures.
I don't want to do it.
Okay, well, welcome back. So this is the part where we're going to discuss our results for the predictions of last week. So with that said, Mr. Ross, over to you.
So thank you everybody for joining us for another episode of the Slapshot Syndicate.
No. Let's go into the scores.
That does wrap us up for another week. We just want to say a big thank you for everybody.
No, it does not. Get him real.
Everyone for joining us for the episodes this week. I don't want to do it. All right. There's been some over the course of the last couple of weeks. There's been someone that's been creeping up behind me. I've been sat second place for a while, which. Let's go into it anyway. So,
well, first and foremost, let's get the old Slapshot Cup out.
Are you fed up of having that or not?
Absolutely not, mate.
You've been hogging it a little bit recently. Azza's had his few, little shares of it, but yeah. So if we roll back the weeks or whatever, I'd say that I had a pretty comfortable lead at one point in terms of being in second place. Azza had that weldy week, didn't he? Where
he got 15 points or something.
Like crazy. I think that was a record, wasn't it? Was it 15 points that he got?
Something like that,
like stupid. Won't ever be redone, obviously. So going into the week, but more to the point of what I was trying to make. Brad has been churning those points and actually you said at one point that you was winning but only by 1 point, but you have been making up the gap, haven't you, quite a lot?
Like I say, it's just been a shame that whenever I seem to have won weeks, it has only been by 1 or 2 points, so it's just been trying to grasp the gap. But I think start of this week, how many points was in it?
Yeah, so start of this week then, the standings look like this. So Brad was in third place. He had 153 points. Very narrowly followed by me with 154 points. and Azza was 13 points clear with 167.
That's crazy though.
Yeah, you weren't here for last week, unfortunately, was you? So when I revealed that to Aaron, he was like, he's bounding down on you, like it's crunch time, and I was like, oh God, I can already feel the lead shit on me at commentary or something, but we haven't decided yet, but you know, that's a very real possibility. We actually got a message from one of our friends, Sarah, who gets in touch quite a lot. She was like, Rossy, I can borrow you a lead shirt if you want. I was like, no, let's talk about it. But let's go through scores on the doors. So, I always ask it, but how do you wrote your predictions down this week because obviously you had to send them to us.
Yeah.
I know there was a little bit of flicking backwards and forwards, so I think you know that you're pretty confident about your week.
I think I've done alright in a few games, let's put it that way. I know I've done alright in some games, it's just there's a couple of fixtures there that went complete opposite to what I thought, so I'm hoping that you guys sort of followed the same route as me, and that there was more damage limitation than anything.
Well, so I can confirm in the 15 games this week, all 3 of us got correct scores.
Wow.
Yeah. So
see what I mean? Like every time I want to try and get some points.
Well, don't be too soon. So Azza correctly guessed that Swindon would beat Bison 4-2. I correctly guessed that Bison would beat Solway 3-2. You correctly guessed that Hull would beat Leeds 3-2. And guessed that Hull would beat Swindon 4-3.
Hull.
And guessed that Sheffield would beat Romford 5-4. So Brad came out with 3 correct results this week, and to be frank, I was nipping.
Yeah.
I was like,
after Wednesday, I knew he was nipping.
I was nipping, really nipping. Because we obviously went to the game, didn't we?
Yeah.
And you was like, what score was it that I came on? I was like, oh God, this isn't a good start. But what was the final outcomes there? So one of us scored 11 points this week, which I think is admirable.
Yeah.
One of us scored 12. And one of us scored 16.
Wow.
And the person who... Should we go for the top first?
Yeah, go on then.
The person who is looking after her royalness is, of course, Mr. Emerson.
Yes!
Yeah, 16-point week, and I think that might be a new record.
It could be the record.
So I just want to, first off, give you one of them and one of them. Very, very well done.
You can't knock that, can you? When someone puts in a...
3 correct scores in a week is unbelievable.
Yeah,
so absolutely fair play. But who got 11 and who got 12?
Oh.
I can reveal that despite Brad getting that and putting the pressure on me, I was the one with 12. Azza got 11 this week.
Wow.
So Azza was bottom of the pile this week, interestingly. Just a couple of scattered ones. I think the likes of me back in Solway against Leeds went in my favour.
Yeah.
There was a couple like that, but I only had 1 correct result, so I actually had like 9 other correct results really, which I think is quite decent, to be fair. But do you want to know what the current scores on the doors are then?
I do.
You've been waiting for this, haven't you?
Damn right.
Well, it has shaken up. Rossy is now in 3rd with 166.
Don't we know?
Well, Bradders has taken over, but you are on 169, so you're 3 points ahead.
Oh.
So you went from 1 point behind. You was not last week, but the week before. You was 4 points behind.
Yeah.
Then you went 1 point behind. Now you're 3 points ahead of me. So. It's the correct result in it, mate.
I know.
And then Azza is on 178, so you are now in single figures behind Azza.
Ooh.
9 points behind. So again,
I'm coming for him.
a couple of correct results, and we're in there, aren't we?
Yeah.
So that sort of leaves us where we are, then, mate.
Yeah. Well, then these are going to be some big predictions.
They are indeed. Azza obviously isn't with us today. So we do have his results. We can sort of snap it here a little bit if you have his phone. If you have the phone, do you have the phone? With the predictions on you.
Yeah, absolutely. 1 second, let me get it up.
Perfect.
So first game is the cup.
It is
the cup final, the first leg of the cup final. and that's on Thursday the 26th of February at 7 o'clock at the Leeds Knights hosting this one. Shall we go with Azza's prediction first?
Should we do ours? I actually haven't, I'll be honest. We have a little group chat. I was pretty busy at work today, so I haven't actually seen Azza's predictions. So I'd kind of like to do my prediction first for this one, just before his. Yeah. Because obviously we're not influenced.
Yeah.
So, looking at this, I thought that Sheffield were at home first. And that gave me confidence to go for Sheffield, I won't lie. Especially after this week just gone. I am going to go, however, for a draw in this one.
Wow.
Because, obviously, we can't go to overtime in this, can we? Because it's two legs. I'm going to go for a draw, and I'm going to go 3-3.
Wow, okay.
Just a little bit different, isn't it?
That is a bit different. That's a big call. Well, Aaron's gone for a Leeds 3-2 victory over Sheffield.
Okay, alright.
Which is interesting.
It's quite similar, yeah, but I can see it.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a Leeds Knights victory.
Okay, I thought it was all going to go different there.
And I'm going to go for a... I would have gone for what he was said, but I'll go for a 4-3 victory then for Leeds Knights. I think there is only a goal in it.
There's a goal or 0 in it. It's... no disrespect to either team, I can't see this being an absolute romping where one of them's going to bang 5 goals past the other.
Me too.
Be so tight. No one's going to want to make a mistake in this one.
I know. If you're not doing anything on Thursday night, I'd definitely get the stream for this because it'll go off.
I think I will.
Yeah, I think I might as well. Yeah. So then on Friday, we have the Swindon Wildcats hosting the Bristol Pitbulls. I will take this one first if you like. I'm going to go for a Swindon victory, and I think it will be 6-2.
Okay, that's I like the sound of that. I will go similar to you. I'm going to go Swindon to win, but I'm going to go 5-3.
Okay, that's cool. So Aaron's gone for Swindon victory as well, and he's gone 5-2.
Okay, so all of us quite similar, aren't we?
We're all in a similar route there. Saturday the 28th of Feb, opening at the weekend up, is Basingstoke Bison versus the Leeds Knights. So would you want me to say Azza's on this one first, or shall we just go?
We can go for it, I don't mind. I'm going to go Leeds Knights here. I'm going to go 4-3, and I'm going to throw an overtime in there.
Oh, okay. You're trying to get some points in.
I mean, I get the point. I'll get the 3 points anyway. But if I predict overtime, it's the extra in it. But yeah, I can see the Bison giving it a really good goal again, but Jalie's just edging it. You know.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for a.
Oh, I can see
Leeds.
It. Oh, I can see on your lips you was gonna say Bison.
A Leeds Knights victory, and I'm gonna. What score did you go for?
4-3.
I'm gonna go for a 5-2.
Okay.
And Aaron's gone for a 4-2. Bison. Sorry, 4-2 Leeds.
Oh, okay.
Imagine just throw it.
Just like complete wrong ones. I don't like that one, so I'm gonna get rid of that one.
He's gone Bison 9-2.
19-0.
Okay, so then we've got Milton Keynes Lightning against the Peterborough Phantoms. I'll take this one first if you like. Really difficult one to call. This is in my opinion.
With the current form, this is a hard one. This.
Yeah. I'm gonna go for Milton Keynes.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to go for Milton Keynes, and I'm going to go for a 5-4 victory.
Oh, well, I'm going to follow you there. I'm going to go down the same path. I'm going to go Milton Keynes 6-4. Yeah.
Well...
I think it's going to have goals in.
That's interesting, because Aaron's gone MK as well, and he's gone 6-5.
Oh.
So
I think we're all in similar vein there, aren't we?
Yeah.
Both teams have got goals, but don't know why MK, just that they've got that magnet back now, where I'm just zoned to them, like, don't know what it is.
And then we've got the Sheffield Steel Dogs hosting the Swindon Wildcats. This could be a big night.
It could be a big night, this. I don't know whether Azza will know this, but... Oh, of course he does. We spoke to the boys after the game, didn't we? Yeah, they mentioned about this, and this is one that they've got circled on their calendar, isn't it? Because this could be the game that Swindon win the league if they beat Sheffield. They've got to get over the barrier of Bristol first. Yeah. But wow, what a way to win it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they'd prefer to win it on home ice. Imagine returning as title winners. What a feeling.
I know. So
But are Sheffield going to play spoilers on the home ice? That's the question.
That's it, isn't it? Well, I'm going to go for Swindon.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for a 6-4.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow, that high.
Yeah, you think I do, yeah.
Swindon are going to ship 4 goals away?
Yeah, I think they've got it, and I think they're going to want to. I don't know if they're that close to it. It's
just going to go gung ho.
Yeah.
I'm going to follow you. I'm going to go Swindon as well, but I'm going to go 4-2 in a similar way that they'll beat Basingstoke last week. Maybe like an empty netter at the end.
Wow. Okay. So Aaron's gone for 4-3
to
Swindon.
Fair.
So yeah, that's good. That's going to be interesting. Again, we're all sort of following the same route there. Solway Sharks hosting Hull Seahawks.
We have not. Right, let's not jump into this one because Solway have given us it at times.
They have.
However, I'll go first on this one. I am going to back the Seahawks. We've been to Barnes, as difficult as the Shark Tank, and we've done really, really well in the last couple of weeks. That's no discredit to Solway. They are in a hunt at the moment, so they will be wanting to win this. But I think Solway might give us it a little bit, so I'm going to go Hull Seahawks 5, Solway 2.
Okay. So I'm thinking it's going to be a little bit more convincing as well. So I'm going to go Hull Seahawks 6, Solway Sharks 3.
Okay, back it, yeah.
And that's I've gone with that because I've seen Azza's prediction. He's gone 4-1 for Hull.
Yeah.
But I just feel like Solway are going to get more than 1 goal.
What did I go? 5-2 or 5-3?
Yeah, I think you went 5-2.
Yeah, I think me and Az are thinking similar there. Where like, we almost said last week that you almost take whatever you straight go to your head, you take a goal off the other team because of Esky.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna go
like a 6-4. You could see it like early in the season, couldn't you? But then with that extra, I could see that.
Anyway, so then we've got the Telford Tigers hosting the Romford Raiders. So I'll go for this one. I'm going to go for... Do you know what? I'm going to go for Romford.
Oh, yeah. This is an interesting one for sure.
I'm going to go Romford Raiders, and I'm going to go for a 5-3.
Okay. I'm going to try and get some points here. I'm going to go Telford. I do rate the Romford choice though. I really do. I'll go for Telford. Purely based on points, I will go Telford. I'll go 5-3 the other way.
Okay, well, Aaron's gone for Telford as well, and he's gone 6-4.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah,
6-4. Okay, so that sort of that does us for the Saturday night,
which is all of the February fixtures, and then we're into Sunday, the 1st of March.
Indeed.
Leeds Knights hosting the Basingstoke Bison.
Double header. So the Bison are on the road up to Leeds in this one.
Yeah.
I will go first if you want, and I'm going to back Leeds. I will back Leeds to win 5-2 on home ice.
Okay, I'm going to back Leeds as well. I'm going to go for a 4-2.
Yeah, I was playing between the two.
What's Aaron gone?
7-0 to the
Leeds. So he's gone Leeds 5-1.
Okay, alright. I like how the fact that we have all gone different still. Like, they haven't been the same score so far as they.
No.
This next one is a big game in that race for the 8th place.
It is. So massive. Bristol Pitbulls hosting the Solway Sharks. I'll take this one first. I'm going to go for Solway, and I'm going to go for 5-3.
Oh, see, I was going to go Solway 5-4, but... it's a points business now. Like, this close to the end of the season, I don't want to be doing a punishment. So I'm going to go Bristol.
Wow.
And I'm going to go 5-4 the other way. I'm playing you at your own game here, mate. You might get the point, but yeah, I don't know. Bristol can score a lot of goals. We've seen that this week. Look, they put what was it, about 11 goals in 2 games in midweek. So yeah.
Aaron's gone, what is it, Bristol Solway? 3-1 Solway. Oh. Cool, okay.
Typically, if it wasn't this close, I would have probably backed Solway. But
yeah. Romford Raiders hosting the Milton Keynes Lightning.
Right. Tricky one, this. I'll go first again. I'll go MK, but I'll go 4-3.
I'm gonna go for Romford.
Nice. Right.
Gonna go 3-2.
Yeah.
Romford.
Sounds good.
Overtime or something like that.
Yeah.
What did I go for?
3-2.
Oh, Aaron's gone 3-2 Romford.
Has he?
Yeah.
That's fine, that's alright.
Well,
back
okay.
it, yeah. Great minds think alike. Or not. We'll see.
I know, yeah, that could be a
point in it, yeah.
Point. So Hull Seahawks hosting the Sheffield Steel Dogs.
This has got fireworks written all over
I can't wait.
This is one that since Matty mentioned it in his interview, I was like, no. We always, I never really look at who we've got in a couple of weeks' time. I always like who we've got this week, but I love it when Sheffield come to town.
Yeah.
I want to do it. I want to do an admission here. I might have set a fire in somebody that isn't. Oh no, maybe not me. Us as a podcast. So a certain Sheffield Steel Dog player. As I said, we didn't really see the best of him when he came to Hull Ice Arena, and he messaged us and was like, "Enjoyed the episode this week, lads, but wait for March the first because I'll have to play up for you," kind of thing. And that was the man, the myth, the legend himself, Bear Genjanov, who has been a massive supporter of us, so we appreciate him. But I think he's got an eye on this one where he's like, "I'm going to show Hull, and I'm going to show them Slapshot boys what I'm thinking." So. Yeah, I think the Dogs will definitely be up for this one. Will we see the return of Davy Phillips as well? He's back from injury, isn't he?
Yeah.
That is always an unbelievable atmosphere, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go for Hull Seahawks anyway. I think we're Heskey in that, you know. Bears going to have a very, very difficult night.
Don't say that. Oh, mind games. It won't be this time. I'm the only one who hasn't said anything. It was you, Azza, then you. I'll say something next week, maybe.
Yeah, and I'm going to go 5-2.
Okay. I'm going to put a little bit more respect on Sheffield here. I am gonna back the Seahawks. Apologies to the Steel Dogs fans, but I'm gonna go Hull 5, Sheffield 3.
Ooh, okay. So Aaron's gone 4-3 Hull.
Is he?
So yeah, we're all back in Seahawks though. The final fixture of the weekend is Peterborough Phantoms hosting the Telford Tigers.
Peterborough 6-4. Goals.
Interesting. I'm gonna go Peterborough 5-3.
Nice.
And Aaron's gone Peterborough 5-2.
Okay.
So
yeah. There's that could have been
a good one to go for Telford, but I just don't know.
It could, but that home form of Peterborough.
I know.
Like, come
That's
on.
it, innit?
They've only got to skate twice on each foot, and they're at each other, they're at opposite ends, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like, just bang it from wherever you can.
Yeah.
But that's another week wrapped up, mate, and another set of results.
It is.
Yeah, very, very big congratulations on probably your record-setting week.
And it's the first time I've not been in last position, so kudos to that.
Yeah, fair play, mate. Because over the course of the season, it's been very much like similar, hasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I haven't. I've not.
Have you never been second?
No.
Yeah.
I've always been last.
Wowza. Fair enough.
So
yeah, because I was top score 1 point. Wow. Yeah, fair play, mate. You got off the foot of the table.
Yeah, definitely.
You're in a playoff position now.
But yeah, thanks a lot for tuning in. You know, liking, subscribing, the comments, the interaction. As always, you know, it's amazing, and we can't thank you enough. You know, we're on that run up now to the playoffs, so things are going to start heating up. You know, we're going to Coventry, so we'll be there regardless of what happens. But you know, feel free to, if you see us, you know, come for a chat, buy us a beer, you know, whatever you want. No, but it'll be great to see everybody. And you know, last year we was pretty humbled, weren't we? Really, by the reception from some people. And you know, we've said this week in, week out, we don't really know what it is you guys think of us. You know, there's certain people that interact with us, but to go there and speak with you all and see how much it means to people and us. It's just really nice. I
can second that as well.
It's like, it is genuinely.
Like this week when I went to Swindon, there was so many nice people there. Even though I was with like my family and you know, so many nice people who wanted to handshake. I really like the podcast, mate. Like you boys are really good. It's breath of fresh air and stuff, and like
it's great,
it was just so nice. Like we don't do this for clout. We're not in it for money. We don't earn anything from doing it. But what we do get from it is that the reception from you guys, which is worth 100%. And you know, the fact that Coventry is coming up, and last year was so humbling for us after like 5 months. Like we just can't wait for it now. Where like we've got so many more amazing people getting in touch every week. It's just going to be an amazing weekend. Isn't it?
Absolutely.
So big thank you to everybody who did say hello as well.
Yeah, well, thank you very much again. That wraps up another episode, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Slapshot Syndicate, pure ambition. 3 mics, 1 mission. Azza and Rossy, yeah, that's the crew. Dropping knowledge, what you gonna do?